So, for today we have Stygian Awoken, which is a pretty highly synergistic clan combination. Our mutators are Yeet Apocalypse, Brawl and Acid Rain, so we purge a card after every battle. Friendly and enemy units get +5 attack and +10 health, but our Pyre gets +10 attack. And the acid rain deals 2 damage to all units after combat. Well, Brawl mostly cancels out the damage from acid rain. It no longer kills fragile enemies, but our own units are a bit safer as well, which is especially important for Stygian Guard with their fragile champion and the totems, which sometimes have very low health as well. The scores look reasonably high. I'm not quite sure if these top 4 are legitimate, but I've seen Eislich a few times here on the ladder, so I assume at least that score is definitely legit. And 47,000 means some flying kills have happened. So the daily seems to be reasonably powerful. Let's jump into the game and see what cards we have to play with today. So we start out with Ice Tornado, Glimmer and Ice Storm. Ice Tornado is pretty good here with the Brawl. Ice Storm and Glimmer might be a little bit too weak at the beginning, but especially Ice Storm with some spell upgrades will be amazing. Our enemy is gonna be the Cleansing Seraph, the Purifying, who purchase buffs. The Apocalypse, Brawl and Acid Rains, the modifiers, and let's take a look at the relics. We do not currently have any way to apply Frostbite, but I will definitely be on the lookout for some Frostbite because it is one of the better ways to kill flying bosses. You apply some Frostbite to them, they fly around for a couple of turns, taking the Frostbite damage every turn. You double up the Frostbite and it can be an early kill. Token of the Traitor is less important if we are playing with Brawl because the 2 damage is unlikely to kill something, so let's go with Cuddlebeard. These are both interesting. Frostbite is nice, does have some nice synergy with the Cuddlebeard, and it's a pretty good boss killer, but with Brawl I'm less worried about bosses than about the whole floors of enemies, because these buffs apply to single strong units once, but also to multiple weak units once each, so they have a much higher impact on waves of weak units as opposed to bosses. And I think the cost reduction Tethys, especially with the Ice Tornadoes in the deck, should help us deal with that a bit better. Even though the Frostbite wouldn't be bad to deal with frontliners that are reasonably tanky as well. Enemies have spikes. That should be alright. We do have the Ice Tornadoes to take out some of them. That's what we need. Let's keep Tethys healthy for now. This collector is a bit too hard to kill, it seems. At least we can kill the front liner here. We should try to kill this trusted priest as well, if possible. I was really hoping for a nice storm here, but well, I didn't want to heal the train steward on the bottom floor because I wanted to be able to play another one, a new one. And I think we will take the damage from this Trusted Priest, so we can heal up our bottom floor a bit. It's a bit, it's not ideal to see these ice tornadoes here, both in the same hand. But we did draw into another one, so... let's start with Ice Tornado, and then follow that up with the other spell. We're a little bit short on damage. Let's make sure we don't take 2 hits from these guys. This battle was really badly played of me. But it's on... Oh! The healing actually got us. I forgot that we actually had units to heal. So yeah, we managed to get the bottom floor kill. So it was okay, we only took 3 damage. These 3 damage were pretty hard to avoid. But I think it would have been possible. Helical Crystallis would be nice, Titan's Tooth would also be nice. Let's take Titan's Tooth so we have a chance to actually apply some Frostbite. Restoration Detonation is a lot better with Brawl and Acid Rain, because there will more often be something to heal. Spikes are a bit worse, because they are no longer enough by themselves to kill units. Steel Enhancer isn't bad, but I think I'm gonna take a Resto Deto here. And we will start by purging the restores. I'm very unlikely to build Regen with Stygian as my main clan. And if we are not building Regen, the restores are quite bad. I think I want to go for spell upgrades here. The Ice Tornadoes, especially the Ice Storm, would benefit quite a bit from upgrades. Double Stack is also interesting on the Titan's Tooth. That's a decent amount of Frostbite applied. Let's get the Ice Storm upgraded with some damage, so now we can actually kill things. And I think we cost reduce one of the Ice Tornadoes. The Restoration Detonation, while being a healing spell, is also a damage spell, so if I'm correct, it should benefit from Tethys cost reduction. I am gonna reroll looking for some more spell damage for the Ice Storm and another cost reduction for the other Ice Tornado. So now that should have made us a lot more powerful, because we have much stronger spells now, and that should make this battle a lot easier, even with the additional armor on the enemies. Restoration Detonation isn't actually considered a damage spell, apparently. Good to know. This guy's at 19 health. We can bring him down to 11 health, but once again, we don't have the capabilities to kill the Collector. Definitely want to play one of the train stewards on the bottom. This guy, I could stop. No, I can't stop him. So he will die to the pyre. We will take 6. Let's keep this train steward as healthy as possible. The early game is always rough with Brawl, because in the early game the enemies benefit a lot more from the Brawl modifier than our units do. Almost enough for the kill here, but not quite. But that's okay. Good enough. Offering token. That helps playing our Titan's Tooth. and is never a bad choice with Incant. Our deck is gonna be relatively small though, and the card filtering Offering Token provides is not very good in a small deck. So I think I'm gonna go with another my first Helical Crystalid here over the Offering Token. I don't want a second Restoration Detonation, and I don't think any of these are worth. The Adaptive Mutation has some interesting synergy with the Rage Siren the Stygian have available. And we do have a lot of purchase, so it's not insane to just pick up an Adaptive Mutation speculatively. Colzelia is definitely the way to go here, although Animus of Will does benefit a lot from Brawl. But I like the Colzelia. It offers us backline clearing and it offers us Frostbite for boss kills. And the combination of these are very, yeah, they can be quite powerful. I do have a very limited amount of gold, so I'm gonna go to the left and see the units, pick the relics. Animus of Speed. I'm unlikely to use an Animus of Speed. It would be decent in the next combat, but I don't want to keep it around for too long, so I'm just not gonna pick it up instead. These are a bit weaker with Brawl being one of the modifiers. They're actually quite weak. I am considering taking the 25 gold instead, but yeah, I will actually take the gold. I think Jack Strips and the hammer they are only important if you can actually kill something. This is interesting. Here I think I'm gonna go with purging the Titan's Tooth. I will miss it for a while, but there's a high chance we get it back at 0 cost. And maybe even with a powerful, with a very powerful extra effect. Yep, add a copy to our discard would be amazing. It could also give us gold whenever we cast it, which would also be pretty good. If we kill its frontliner, then we are okay here. This is scary for Tethys. I was really counting on the Ice Tornado doing its job. Yeah, this is okay now. Ice Storm, very nice. Then we heal up some. I'm not sure if I wanna play the Train Stewards here. We're currently lacking a bit of power to kill Daedalus. I will play one of the Train Stewards, keep the other in hand, so we can potentially play him in our next cycle. I could let the train steward die here. It's very unlikely we'll have one in our next turn, so we can let the train steward die next turn instead. Oh, actually, that's a Daedalus fight already. And this is enough. Adaptive mutation on the Cold Celia would also have been pretty strong. Unleash the Wildwood Spreading Spores Siren Song. I am considering Unleash the Wildwood. With the current mutators, it's not a bad card because our units will always be damaged, especially our backline will also be damaged, so healing multiple units is actually nice here. And it's a free spell. And there we have Guard of the Unnamed, which can be our frontliner. Awoken Hollow could also be our frontliner in this scenario, but I think Guard of the Unnamed just works better for us. Now we basically have a 5 capacity floor with Tethys, Cold Celia and Guard. We do have the cost reduction Tethys, so many of our spells are cheap or already free, so let's go with draw. And we remove the final restore. It's about time to start removing these train stewards, because now we actually care about spells being cast with the incant, and we also have less space for train stewards and less use for them. They were still useful before for tanking the hits, but that's not very important anymore. I do want the Stygian banner and the unit upgrades. These units though, not really. We already have these units, so giving some attack to Cold Celia means she will be able to kill a bit tankier backlines. And now quick or multi-strike would be nice. The Heartstone on the God of the Unnamed would also be decent. But I think I wanna... Yeah, now after the reroll, now that we know we don't want to buy a big upgrade, we can use it. Let's actually also give them attack. No. Let's look at the map first. There are a bunch of opportunities for more Merchants of Steel, so... No, Endless is useless for him, because he won't keep any armor in case he dies. So if he dies, we already made a big mistake, and I'm not planning on letting him die. Especially with the Heartstone, that should never happen. And another train steward. So now we have a lot of room to pick up speculative picks. Here I could consider the Frostbite option, because right now our spells are already pretty cheap. Most of them are already gonna be 0 cost on Tethys floor, so there's only Ice Tornadoes and Helical Crystallis that benefit from the additional cost reduction, and we do need some more boss damage by now. It is still necessary, I think. I could play Train Steward here, but that would be pretty bad because we are guaranteed to draw our Guard of the Unnamed next turn. And I wouldn't be able to play it on the in that scenario. I do want this collector, and even though it's pretty expensive to deal with him, I need the gold. This guy needs quite a bit of damage. Damage which I can't really afford to spend on him right now. 10, 16. Can't get this guy down to a low enough health to actually kill the light, deal more damage to the light harnesser. The second lane. This guy will die to the acid rain, so that's fine. And this guy needs some more damage, so that's probably the best way of dealing with him. So we still have the Helical Crystallis here on the bottom floor. This guy needs one more damage, unless we kill the boss early enough, and I want to focus on killing the boss early enough, because killing the boss early enough gives us more score, so I will go for the incants here. We can always decide to spend some Ember on the top floor to get the kill if we are short, but we do have the kill easily enough here on the bottom floor. Thanks to our ridiculous frostbite stacking. Glacial Seal. Definitely Glacial Seal. Ensnare is not bad as a free incant trigger that draws a card next turn. It's also okay to stop a unit that has a bunch of frostbite on it from ascending to the pyre floor, so we can actually die to frostbite instead. So I will take an ensnare. Let's get the restore out of here. Yeah, Effigy would be great. Upgrade the Titan's Tooth, gain 25 gold. Okay, so if we let him hold on to it for another turn, it will become 0 cost and 35 gold, which is one of the two outcomes I was looking to get from that event. The card removals are gonna be less and less important for us. Yeah, let's go to the left. I'm still looking for multi-strike. And we got it. The spikes on the frontliner would be not terrible, but also not amazing. I'd much rather have another health upgrade. Health on the Glacial Seal wouldn't be bad, but 11 health should suffice. Do they? No. We might face some sweepers or something, so I do want to have some extra health on that Glacial Seal. I don't really need more health on the Guard. Let's pay health. We do have a lot to spare. Friendly units get plus 3 HP. That should be okay. It does help our Tethys against things like sweep, at least a little bit. And that might just be enough so we get to the Wildwood, unleash the Wildwood to heal him up. Enemy units enter with Spell Shield too. I mean, it's not like we can really afford to not take it. This means we will mostly have to rely on our units to get the kills. Um, there's also the problem of these guys having sweep, which is a rather significant problem with 8 attack. I can't really fit the Glacial Seal on this floor, and I think the Cold Celia is more important because of the upfront damage she provides. I will play the Glacial Seal at the top for now, just because we have no way of fitting it on this bottom floor right now. 5 plus 6 plus the Frostbite is enough to get the kill on this Collector. This guy will die to Frostbite, so we can continue casting spells here on the bottom floor. Frozen Lance is actually the weakest spell, so we should start with that to get rid of some spell shields. We need to heal our backline up. No, we are actually guaranteed to draw into Unleash the Wildwood, so probably best to heal the front line. Well, it doesn't really matter. Unleash the Wildwood will heal everyone to full anyway. Let's use the Unleash. I don't wanna ensnare the backline. That could be quite dangerous. I could see Adaptive Mutation on our Cold Celia, so we would have a lot more damage. But this also means she's gonna be very vulnerable, but that should work out okay for us, because we do have 2 decent healing spells to get her healed back up. Like this one. And the sweep guys are only every other wave, so it's not like there will ever be 2 of these sweep guys back to back, so we don't have to worry about that. No target to root, sadly, but we do have a decent amount of stats. I forgot about the boss sweep. That's a bit of a problem here, because we will only be able to apply a very limited amount of Frostbite to this boss. So we need to burst this boss down with spells instead. Good thing we have this Glacial Seal, but it would have been better 1 floor lower, so we were actually able to utilize it better. I will take another Glacial Seal. Now this seems a lot better than Cold Celia on the bottom floor. None of these really excite me, let's skip. And we remove the final Train Steward. And we get our upgraded Titan's Tooth back. That's now free and gives us 35 gold whenever we cast it, which is very nice. Unit upgrades not as important anymore. Relics on the other hand could be a nice boost. Not that important for Frostbite, to be honest, because we have the most important relic already, but still nice. Volatile Gaunch. I mean, the +3 draws is nice. And with cost reduction Thesis we could do it. But it would delay our setup with the Glacial Seals by a bit, because these might often be more expensive. But we draw into them faster. It's difficult. Normally I would probably not take it in a deck like that, but the extra draw is very tempting. I think we take it and we go Ember after Fell. Oh, this saves us so much trouble. Should have looked at this shop first, then it would have been an easy call to take the Volatile Gorge. The other ones are not necessary, so let's reroll. And we get Lightstone Casing or Rules of Containment. Lightstone Casing will probably be used to get holdover on the Titan's Tooth and perhaps an Ice Storm or a cost reduction on Ice Storm. Rules of Containment is not that impactful for us, to be honest. It's for Frostbite, but I think the Lightstone Casing has way more potential. Start removing these Frozen Lances. Yeah, the Unleash the Wildwood is still pretty useful. So, for our setup, we have all our units in hand. I think Colcelia goes on the second floor, starts dealing with Fel immediately. And we set up our Incan stuff on the bottom floor. And I do want to get some damage out here right now. This Titan's Tooth should probably go on Fel. And we play the Resto Detto for another Frostbite stack on this guy. Now our Colcelia needs some protection. An Ice Storm and an Unleash the Wildwood would do the trick. Another Ice Tornado here. And a nice Storm. And Fel is on the bottom floor, which means let's get all the Frostbite we can. We are gonna play the Ensnare plus a 2-cost spell, so let's play the Ensnare first. So we can guarantee a target for it. Oh, I only hit Fel with that. And then we heal our team up. So that's already a decent amount of Frostbite on her. Which is looking good for an early boss kill. I wanna try to use the Titan's Tooth on Fel every turn. This heals her up to full and gives her some additional attack. Now Fel has 152 Frostbite. And here we can actually hit Fel directly with our spells, which is pretty interesting to me. I think the Ice Storm is definitely used on Fel, as well as the Helical Crystallis. The Frozen Lance is a bit... is not really impactful enough. I'm gonna use that one on the bottom floor to kill the Master of Light. We are quite close to a kill here, but it might not quite work out. $300 damage, that's pretty good. But yeah, now we have the kill. Only a 4-turn boss rush, but that's still pretty good. Oh, Awoken's Rail Spike, that's amazing. Let's take it. And we need Ember now. What achievement are you talking about, Crack? Yeah, I've got all achievements in this game already, so let's remove the final frozen lands. Relics and dupe. I do want to dupe the Titan's Tooth. I also kind of want to upgrade it, but getting a second one is way more impactful than getting holdover on it, because we draw most of our deck every turn anyways. So let's go to the left. Thorn Fruit. Yeah, that's a lot of free incant triggers. We already draw most of our cards every turn anyways, but yeah, in Covenant 25 it's very hard to kill bosses during flight. I think we are that far into the incant build that we want the second cost reduction, especially with the Volatile Gorge. The things will roll random costs only when we redraw them, and they are gonna be cost reduced by Tethys. For the first time, the thing is guaranteed to be free, I think. Let's see. Yep, free sting. These guys I wanna kill before I set up my units. Also, our whole hand is gonna be free except for the Unleash the Wildwood. So let's Rail Spike. Oh, I should have made a space for it first. But that's okay. This is the tanky Glacial Seal, that's great. Oh, we do have the other one as well. I missed that. We have the kill on this guy before combat anyways. And Code Celia can go on the next floor. Wait, it wasn't before combat, what was I thinking? There's Titan's Tooth here. Ice Tornado. Another Ice Tornado. Glimmer, Glimmer. Almost enough. And Adaptive Mutation on anyone? Not really. Oh. I forgot about the Collector. Oh, that sucks. Oh, should have killed the Collector. Oh, we will have enough gold anyways. You know what? Let's make Tethys a bit tankier. He's mostly there to provide his buffs anyway. And we generate a ton of gold with these Titan's Tooth. I forgot to play the ensnare again. We need some more damage on the boss. Okay. Ice Storm, Frenzied Swarm and another Glacial Seal. The third Glacial Seal will be pretty hard to use. I am kind of interested in that, but I think it's a bit too hard to use effectively. So we'll skip. Invigorating Solution, we are already drawing 9 cards every turn. 10 with the extra draw from the stings. Same goes for Ensnare. These draw +1 next turn effects are basically useless to us at this point. And now we have to start removing actual cards, and I think first is gonna be the Ensnare, because as I said, now the +1 draw next turn effect is useless to us because we have the stings and the 9 card draws anyways. I kinda wanted spell upgrades, but it doesn't really matter that much to me. I much prefer having another Titan's Tooth. Unit upgrades, probably not gonna take any. Maybe a Hellstone on the Guard of the Unnamed, but that seems unnecessary. These relics are not very useful to us. Nothing of use. I will just keep my entire gold pool for the score. This boss is gonna be a bit annoying because he does purge the frostbite effect on him, so it will be pretty hard to get an early kill against this Seraph with frostbite. We don't really have a unit that can take these very well, but Glacial Seal might just be good enough. After all, we will have our tank next turn. I think Titan's Tooth should actually go on this floor. And Ice Tornado on the bottom. Glimmer as well. And I wanna get rid of the Adaptive Mutation, even if it means losing some damage this turn. This guy does have a decent amount of Frostbite, so he will probably not be a big issue. Let's play out these Titan Tooth first. And then we Rail Spike for 4, actually. Should have played the Seal first. And we Rail Spike for 4. Trying to another Titan's Tooth. A decent chunk of damage against the Seraph. We might require some aid here on the top floor. I'm gonna go for Titan's Tooth again because it hits the Seraph as well. Let's take care of this bottom line first. Sting and Ice Tornado and Titan's Tooth are free on other floors, so I'm gonna try using the other spells here on this floor. I will just take the damage from the Gilded Wings so I can hit the Seraph. And heal back the damage on the Glacial Steel. I guess we play Restoration Detonation here. Ice Storm. This one is expensive. And that should be enough. So we can use these other spells on the Seraph. Play the spells that hit everyone first before using these random targeted spells. It's a good chunk of damage. But he keeps clearing the frostbite from himself, which I'm not very happy with. Titan's Tooth and Ice Tornado can be played for free on other floors. The Ice Storm is pretty good here. Definitely gonna play the Titan's Tooth on the top floor if at all possible. The Stings, Glimmer and Helical Crystallis are great on other floors. And I do want to hit the Seraph as hard as possible. Doesn't look like we can get the flying kill here, but we tried. We will still get the kill here on that floor, don't worry. And even save our units. So we only managed to get the flying kill on Fel. So our score won't be that great, but we should still be in the top 10 if I remember the score correctly. But we might be on the second page too. Let's see. We managed to make a lot of gold from this final battle, from all these Titan's Teeth. So that was helpful. 47,000, pretty sure that's on the first page. Interesting deck, a lot of Frostbite stacking, but no Hoarfrost Effigy, which was... Hoarfrost Effigy is basically what you need to kill the Purifying Seraph in flight with Frostbite, because he halves the stacks every turn, so you need some way to counteract that. Yeah, these Titan's Tooth were definitely great. I'm glad I chose to double stack it early and got that insane upgrade on it. So let's see. Yeah, 6th place, just above Eislich, which is pretty solid, to be honest.